Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they work in your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
Holy shnikes. The wait is over. The wait is over. That's right, folks. We've kicked off on Thursday the 2022 NFL season. Believe me, it kicked off with a bang. We'll get into more of that, though. But officially is Sunday, the first Sunday of the National Football League of 2022. Game one of the inevitable 17-0 Cowboys. Game one of the inevitable 0-17 Eagles. I guess I should have maybe waited for Michael on that one.
Yeah, should have waited on that one.
Michael will be joining us a little bit soon. But welcome, everybody, one and all. We got Coach Vic over right there to my right. I am your host, Charles Richardson. The phone number is 813-699-5353. We are looking for you. We are looking for you to go ahead and interact with. Give us your picks. We're going to go down every single game this week, including next Thursdays, because, well, hell, we only have a show on Sunday. We've got to go ahead and preview Thursday. Come on now. Speaking of the 17-0 Dallas Cowboys, there's John Monroe.
Good morning, John. Welcome to the show.
We have to embrace the evil. Good morning, John. We also have Billy Smith coming in. The best time of the year has arrived. Yes, it is. I think maybe the second on there would be Christmas. And then any other time after that would be any time that the temperature dips below 80 degrees in Florida, which is not very often. That's my time of the year right there. Sir, Coach, how was your week?
Man, it's busy. Football. But other than that, man, it's a good week.
Can't beat it.
Can't
beat it. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Always stay ready.
Always ready.
Already ready. For all the haters.
Yep. You got some good news. Actually, you got some good news and bad news for the Bucs. Chris Godwin will be suiting up today. He will be playing. And the bad news is already coming out of the Brady camp is this is his last year. Now, whether it is a Brett Favre goodbye and come back again. Now, I think this is really his last year. He's made it clear that this is going to be his last year. So
he has no choice.
I think so. I think unless he wants to go ahead and maybe he could hook up with another supermodel out there. Who else is out there that maybe Brady could hook up with? I don't know.
No, he has
maybe
no
he
choice.
hook up with one of the Buccaneer cheerleaders or something. I don't know. Anyway, but it's like obviously there's some turmoil going on over there, and apparently, and this is again just coming out of the rumor mill, that the vacation they went on, the 11-day vacation, the reason why he got pre-approval of it is because they had already planned it while he was retired.
Yeah.
He already had planned this vacation for the family when he was retired. So it's like, all right, guys, I'm coming back, but you got to give me this 11 days because if not, I ain't getting any for the entire year.
Yeah, it's a family trip.
Yeah.
Usually you plan one, you get that one last hoorah before school starts. So I understand it, but I said it. He should have retired and should have stayed retired. Even though I'm Tampa Bay, and I think Brady's the greatest of all time.
And I had a lot of respect for Brady to that up to that point where I still have respect for the player, but for the guy that wants to go ahead and say, yeah, I'm going to retire and then unretire, I don't have respect for you now for that. Because that is a decision. That is a lifelong decision, like getting married. It is a lifelong decision. You either are going to retire or you're not. And once
But
you retire, you stay retired because guess what? You've already came with the expectation of the team, the players, that they're moving on without you. And then all of a sudden you come back, it's like, oh, what the hell?
but
Now, in this particular instance, Vic, having him come back, oh, thank God, come back, because they had no option at quarterback. I mean, maybe Jimmy G ends up in Tampa. I don't know. Maybe Baker ends up in Tampa, or, and this is still going on, Jared Goff ends up in Tampa.
no.
Don't ask me how I know this. It's been rumored down here. It has been rumored down here.
Well, I got all kind of rumors.
I don't get that one.
Well, I understand, like I said, the whole situation when he said he was retiring. It was one of those things where he didn't say he was retiring. It was rumor has it he was retiring. And I guess, and I'm thinking like he's like, oh well, I guess I retire. But
No, yeah, but then he came
but
out.
everybody, but you got to realize, man, depending on the time of the year, how everything was going, the woulda, coulda, shouldas, and blah blah blah. You never make a decision right then and there. You take your time, wait till you more calm. So what? It was what, a month?
Not even. I don't even think.
Not even a month. And he was like, "Hey,
oh no, because Tom, not Tom, Michael Jordan actually made a commercial shoot about Tom Brady, and it said I was able to stay away from the game for 2 years. Tom Brady didn't even last 2 months. So I'm thinking maybe that had something to do with that. I don't know, but yeah, it was not.
Because what people realize, man, you creature of habits. We're all creature of habits.
Yes.
And he's been doing the same regimen, same thing for 20 plus years. And so when he went the month without doing it, with a month or a month and a half, I can't remember how long, of nothing, family or his side businesses, his side hustles and everything, he got itchy for the football. Because usually in March, that's when the quarterback and receivers start planning, hey, let's go throw some footballs. Let's go work on our catching. Let's go do this.
But he could have. I mean, listen, I know he wouldn't have been able to do it in a professional standpoint, but he could have went ahead and threw football with anybody. He could have, called Julian, hey, man, come on down to Tampa, hang out with me for a week, and they'll throw balls around going into like Lashley Park or something like that.
It's not the same.
I know it's not the same, but the thing is, what is going to happen when 50-year-old Tom Brady finally does retire? 60-year-old Tom Brady,
he's retiring. This is his last year.
But like I said,
this is his last year.
I think it's last year because of pressure from the family.
It has to be, of course.
It has to be, yeah,
of course.
Because why else? Why else would Giselle go ahead and bolt like that?
Charles,
go ahead, come on.
What does Tom Brady has to prove?
He doesn't. That's the thing. Why couldn't you just retire from the Patriots? Is that the only other thing?
Oh, no. He has something to prove.
Bill? Is that it?
He has something to prove then.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Because what? Go ahead.
You want to go ahead and prove. Listen, you were able to go ahead and win with talent and without talent. So wouldn't it have been an ideal scenario to go to a team that has got some decent, number one, get back to the West Coast. That's where you were born. That's where you were raised.
Hold on. Time out.
Always wanted to play for San Francisco. Why couldn't you go to San Francisco?
Time out. No one wanted him, remember? You heard rumors about San Francisco. You heard rumors.
The Chargers wanted him.
You heard, no, they wasn't. They had what's the name? They wasn't finna get.
And then you had Miami that wanted him. And then you had Vegas that wanted him. And
that's what I'm saying. You had San Francisco. He tried to go to San Francisco. They said they didn't want him. He tried to go to the Raiders. They turned it down. Like, the thing about it is, you say, well, he went to a good team. And here's the issue. The New England Patriots was what they were because of Bill Belichick. Not Tom Brady. He didn't do the salary cap. Bill did the salary cap.
Yeah.
Bill did the drafting. Bill did all those things. So before he left, it was the perfect Patriot way. Bill. Okay, Tom Brady, you're okay. But it was always Bill's here. Even now, think about it. Tom Brady's been gone 3 years, and we still give Bill the credit now. Everything he does, no matter how it looks, we still say, but he's gonna figure it out because he's a great coach. Because that's what they do.
Yeah.
And so, and Tom, he didn't want Tampa wasn't his first choice. It wasn't his first choice.
What was
Hell,
his first choice? Was it Frisco?
It was San Francisco.
Yeah.
And you heard Tom, and Tom said it. So you're gonna keep this quarterback over me. Then you hear
Jimmy over me, really?
Then you heard Vegas. Like you heard Vegas.
Yeah, but and I heard how John went ahead and nixed it.
Yeah, so nobody wanted Tom Brady. So of course Tampa wasn't even a playoff team.
No, Tampa was a playoff team. They just
no, not before Tom Brady. They weren't a playoff team.
Right.
So at the end of the day, they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, went to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl won.
That's the difference when you have a guy like Tom Brady. And that's where a lot of people, yes, man, you could be the greatest coach in the world, but if you ain't got Jimmy and Joe, you ain't got no Jimmy and Joe's, it's a big difference, man. It's a big difference. Because
let me give you a couple of scenarios. Scenario number one. Obviously, I think I kind of have this answer. Brady goes all the way, wins the Super Bowl. Itching for another one? Or is he done?
But he's done. Like, I'm just telling you, I said it last year when he retired. What do you have to prove? If you come back,
any scenario from this season that could go down, even to the point of missing the playoffs, does he want to come back?
No, he's done.
Okay.
This is because
I didn't know that's all I had to know because
Charles, just what you got to realize. Tom Brady's Tom Brady because his family. Because one thing about his family, they held him down, they sacrificed, and they let him focus on football. You see, now the issue is they're not holding him down right now. So he's not used to. Now you heard him, man. It's life and this trying to figure it out because they've held him down to where all he had to do was just focus on football and just building the Tom Brady brand, TB12, LFG. That was his thing. Now you don't have wife in the background, or you don't have your kids, or you still have your dad, of course, but you don't have the people around you that held you down every game. Go to the games, represent with this smile.
Numbers. I mean,
so that's the thing that what people don't realize. Tom Brady's not going to be the Tom Brady until the family is back.
Brady said it plainly and clearly, and made it in a way that made every middle-aged dad nod. I got a lot of shit going on. Sorry about the cursing. This is not going to be a normal training camp. The 45-year-old heading into what is expected to be his last season in the NFL, according to sources with knowledge of his thinking. He has never said it publicly, but multiple parties involved acknowledged that after this year's retirement and then unretirement, the end is near. And that is the understanding that this is his final year.
Yeah, because even what's the name? Gronk said it. Gronk didn't expect him to come back to next year.
Yeah.
He said he expected him to take a year off, be with Giselle, be with the family and everything, and say, hey, let me just get one more.
But see, the thing is, time's not on his side. So if he takes a year off, you're back at 46.
You can't listen.
I'm just saying.
You can't say time is not on his side. For the simple fact of the matter is, he's still he releases the ball top 2.
I'm not saying he doesn't, but I'm just saying you go ahead, you go down a year, and then you want to come back at a 46-year-old body.
Not important. But
there ain't enough avocados out there to do that.
Charles. He sacrificed his life. He has a strict regimen. Certain things he don't eat, certain things he don't like.
He's still going to continue that, by the way, because of the TB12 method. He's going to keep doing that. Otherwise,
but it's not going to be as strict. It's not going to be as strict now.
Yeah, he'll probably eat spaghetti every now and then.
Like, there's a difference. Like, that's the thing with people. It's different, man. And you need Father Time is going to catch up with him.
Yeah,
but
eventually.
But look at last year's stats. He was the MVP.
Pretty much.
He
he had a good argument for MVP, Good
He
argument.
didn't, and that's what I'm saying. Because think about it, man. Look at all the quarterbacks that are old. They got old. Peyton Manning.
Yep.
You,
But Peyton
like,
Manning had a neck issue, man. All these quarterbacks that went down, before Tom's age, way before Tom's age, they had injuries. Yes, Tom Brady went down for a year because of
okay,
a
look at
that's
Drew
it.
Brees. Drew Brees
Yeah,
couldn't throw over 15 yards because he takes care of his body.
yeah.
Like he sacrificed. Like we keep saying, oh, he's 46 years old. Man, he's 46 years old in age, but the way how he treats and take care of his body,
He's a
he's a
30-year-old
30,
now.
he's a 30-some-year-old man.
Yeah.
That's
Let's read some comments here. Randy Jowers, who's part of the show, he's going to go ahead. He actually made his picks. We'll go ahead and reveal all of them later on at the end of the show. We all know Tom is the ultimate competitor, but if the rumors are true about his marriage, why risk your family life after you've already the GOAT? Well, to see, the point is, Randy, he could have been claiming the GOAT after the Atlanta Super Bowl. Honestly, after the Seattle Super Bowl. You had 4 in your pocket. You got your 5th in Atlanta. You could have just went ahead and said, you know what, I'm sailing out of here. You could have went ahead and left it after the Super Bowl with LA because you didn't have a great Super Bowl there. You actually didn't have any touchdown passes. You threw a pick, so you didn't have a great Super Bowl with the against the Rams. But you could have hung it up and said, "Listen, I got 6 rings. I don't need any more. I'm done." But you have that you have that bug up your ass because you're coached by Bill Belichick, who you never liked. You had to go somewhere else. That's fine. John Monroe says, great point, Coach, in regards to explain about Brady. Frankie, let's go Patriots. Booyah. Let's go Patriots. I don't have a winning, but let's go Patriots anyway. He's trying to play till he's 45 and just turned that into that, so this is last year. Anthony Price in the house. Brady going to go ahead and hit more, is going to get hit more this year. Yeah, he is. And really think his time is up. Yeah, that's the main point. That offensive line, we don't know what it's going to be capable of.
but how do we say that?
I don't know. Gregor John says hello. Pat's going to win. No.
Boy, it is New England finest in this thing today.
It is. We got Patriots represent.
I know it.
John says Brady's in great shape. He is. We're not going to lie. He is in great shape, but his life is not in great shape. That's the point we're trying to make. Anthony goes ahead and says, I need to see Gronk shine without Brady next to him. I need to see Gronk. Okay. I don't know where Gronk's going to go, but I think maybe he flipped that one. I don't know. Frankie said Father Time is getting to him and by losing his O-line, yeah. And Brady takes care of his body right. Yeah, we know about that. We know Brady's got that TB12 method. We know that, all that. But that O-line, that's not part of the TB12 method. That's part of the holy crap, what am I going to do method. Even though he talks in the press conferences saying, listen, that line is tight. We're good. No worries. What do you really think of that?
About it. Let me say this. Everybody, you're killing me with the O line. The only one it happened in I'm sorry, it happened in January. It happened in August. Like, so they had a whole month to fix it. First off, we're talking about really one guard because Shaq Mason is still Mason's, which is a New England guy.
Yep.
Is the guard, is one of the guards. So the center is going to be fine. It's the left guard. Left guard will be fine there. It's because if you ask me, what really, if it was the left tackle or the right tackle, then I would say, oh, we're in trouble because that's where your money is. That's the guys that's going to protect them.
Now, is this going to affect the run game? Because the run game, listen, I think Brady's going to have to. I think the Bucs going to have to rely on that a little bit more than Brady, unless they're working out something where he's just going to get the ball out quickly. But do you think the run game is going to affect the run game?
It depends on how you want to do it. Because think about it. It's about pass rush. Like, and we're not. I'm not going to break down the Cowboys game. Each game is going to be different. So each game they're going to play a different way because you have the toys. You have a run game. You have 4 receivers that you could depend on that could beat the one-on-one.
Right.
Like that's the one thing. And you got 2 tight ends. So depending on who you are. So if you're small up front, man, we're gonna go 2 tight end sets.
Okay.
If you're big up front, we're gonna make you run. We're gonna toss it around.
In regards to the comments on Brady getting hit a lot more, do you think that's going to happen? Do you think
no.
he's okay? So you think everything should be?
He released the ball. he releases the ball too fast.
And he also knows he also knows how to step around and move around the pocket too. That's
yes,
for 45. You know, that's pretty good.
Because even now, and even the Cowboys, I know everybody's Cowboy. They're gonna. We're not worried about them because again, you got pass rush, you got edge rushers, nothing up the middle. So he's just gonna dip under it, and you got what's the name? He's gonna give up the double move.
Yeah.
So you can say what you want, but Diggs gonna give up the double move because he plays the way he plays defense. He plays in face, so he's gonna give up the double move.
Well, there you go. That's the Brady's and the Brady and the Bucks. They're taking on the Cowboys Sunday Night Football to kick off the nighttime version of the game. We'll be breaking that game down a little bit later there because we all know we want to hear that breakdown. But let's go ahead and actually break down the Buffalo Bills and the LA Rams. Thursday Night Football happened. Coach, listen, I don't want to say to you guys, I told you so. I didn't really expect a blowout, but I did expect Buffalo to win. And they came out, man, and they were just all over these Rams. They were all over it. Stafford couldn't get anything going. Threw 3 picks. Yeah, the Rams went ahead and got some turnovers, some fumbles, a couple of Josh Allen picks. So both quarterbacks were throwing it all over the place. But it seemed like Buffalo had it together a lot more than the Rams did. The case being, are the Rams in trouble with this poor of a performance against? Don't get me wrong, because it's a good team, maybe even a great team, but are the Rams in trouble?
No. I messed up on the pick. I should have picked the Bills. I was picking with my heart because we had a whole discussion about the Bills. So
you picked against Josh Allen.
Because it was a whole discussion about it. But the reality
up here.
Yeah, the reality of it is, after sitting there thinking about it, I'm like, just won the Super Bowl, so you got the Super Bowl hangover. Secondly, you restructured everybody's contract, so everybody got paid. You just seen the banner come down at the stadium and everything else. So it was a lot. I mean, it was a lot going on. And I think the Rams are okay because guess what? Let me ask you this, Charles. Is the Rams not going to make the playoffs?
No, I think they do.
Okay. So nobody,
hey, listen, I know it's one game, so that's why it's the way too early, but the way listen, Cooper Kupp obviously can get the ball. But if you're double and triple teaming, is there anybody else there? Allen Robinson didn't show anything. Nobody else showed anything. Tyler Higbee dropped a few passes, for crying out loud, and he's supposed to be sure-handed. I'm just saying the offense sputtered way more, even when the people were wide open.
No, I agree with you, and it's a process because it takes time because they never really worked in a live game scenario. So a lot of stuff was brewing, and Buffalo's trying to prove a point, so they went all out, and that's good. I'm happy for them. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the teams like the Rams, they're focused on, we got to get better. Let's get better this week. Let's get better next week. Win some games, because all we got to do is win 9. We win 9 to 10 games, we're in the playoffs. 9 to 10 games get us in the playoffs. When you get in the playoffs, that's when you want to be clicking. You want to be going right then and there. So I'm not at the point of like, oh my gosh, Sean, the receiver core is this. Because guess what? We had that same conversation last year before they got Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
We had the same conversation. I mean, and that's the thing. And guess what? Let's flip it over. We had the same conversation about the Buffalo Bills after the first few games. And they lost out second round. So it teams like the Rams, teams like the Bills, it's playoffs talk. We know you're gonna we know you're gonna be fine in the regular season. It's the last 3-4 games of the season. How are you rolling?
Another thing that kind of got me worried, if you're a Rams fan, that offensive line gives up 7 sacks.
But
7. Now, is that because Von Miller, who is an ex-Ram, is on the other side just trying to pump everybody up, or Is that just the Rams O line just trash now?
But that's all of it plays in part. Ecker was nowhere to be found, so you didn't have a running game. So then you end up being behind. So once you're behind, what does coaches want to do? Especially if you got a quarterback that can throw it around. Especially if you got one of the best receiver in the game.
Got to heave it.
You're gonna throw the football. So then now all you got to do. What do you think Von Miller did? Oh, he pinned his hit. Hey, pin them ears back. Let's go.
Yeah.
But again, though, Charles, it's one of those conversations that I always say. He is the Super Bowl guy. So he knows what it takes. So he knows. I said it from the beginning. The Buffalo Bills signed him to teach, not necessarily to really play. It's to teach these young guys. It's to teach this defense. It's to teach this offense how to be a Super Bowl contender.
Are you trying to say they don't expect him to play like he's on a pitch count?
I don't think he can go 16 games, balls to the walls.
17.
Well, 17.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not saying.
So you think they can like maybe on big games maybe put them all out, and then on like
no, not
the Patriots like kind of
it's pretty much high. It's pretty much. I'm not saying that he's gonna play. Don't get me wrong, but he's not gonna play every snap. But also it depends on how he feels. But you need someone to teach them. Because think about it, they drafted D linemen like crazy for the past couple of years.
Yep,
defensive guys, but they couldn't get any pass rush. They couldn't get any sacks. They never. Who was the winner? It's just if you flip it, we took Tom Brady. Tom Brady went to the Bucks. Now they're a playoff contender and winner because he taught them how to win. If you looked at when Peyton went to the Broncos, there was a playoff team and the Super Bowl champion because he taught them how to win. Who other than Von Miller? No one knew. No one knew how to win, to win a Super Bowl.
No, not
Von Miller's done it twice.
No, you're right. You're right. He was a part of it for two different teams.
Because think about it. Let's take Buffalo. Who's going to win the AFC East?
It's Buffalo. I mean, you know that. I mean, it's unless Miami has a real big tear and they overachieve like over everybody else's predictions. Yeah, it's Buffalo.
So to me, when I look at these games, it looks good. Okay, but we already know that you're gonna make the playoffs. I don't care what you do in the regular season, and I say it all the time. So it doesn't. It was a good game. They play hard. They look good.
Yeah.
Let me see it in the playoffs. Get out the second round.
Those two turnovers that Josh Allen had, those two interceptions, do you consider that a problematic? Do you think he's going to throw more pick?
Of course, because you know who he reminds me of?
Brett Favre.
No, not Brett Favre. He reminds me of him and Lamar Jackson. No, exact same.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you did compare them because both of them can run and everything like that. Even though Lamar will run first, throw second,
but
Josh will go ahead and throw first.
But if you look at it before he got Stephon Diggs, he ran first, and then now if you look at it, guess what? Who's the leading rusher?
It was Josh Allen. Josh Allen Thursday.
Yeah, majority of the games is Josh Allen. But once he got Stephon Diggs, now he throws a little more because you got Stephon. Stephon's top 5 receiver. We all know that.
Singletary ran 8 times for 48 yards, which isn't a bad average. Of 6 yards a carry. That's not bad at all. But and then you look at Josh Allen, 10 runs for 56 yards. He almost took the ball to himself more times than Singletary and Moss combined. Both of those 14 carries for 63 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, is that just him not, or is that just the coaching staff not having any faith in Singletary or Moss? I mean, why do you even have running backs back there for decoys?
No. Who's a better runner, Josh Allen or the running backs?
You can't give it to Josh Allen the whole time, though. I mean, that's just you're talking about Von Miller not being able to play. I understand his age and everything like that, but with Josh Allen, you can't do that to him.
That's what they do. That's what they've done. Yeah. Go look. 31, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. They're not handing it to the running back. They're bringing that. They have the running back here. They're bringing that tight end over. They just have 10
blockers up there, and Josh Allen, you just take it the rest of the way. It's kind of like Baltimore's offense.
Yes, it is. The only difference is you got Stephon Diggs. They throw it over the top.
So there was actually one Facebook meme that I was taking a look at that was funny as hell. So they had the Rams press conference. This is the meme. So the press conference of the Rams, they got the microphone, and somebody asked Jalen Ramsey, man, how was your performance? And the part of Jalen Ramsey was played by a burnt piece of toast.
Yes.
Guy torched. What the hell's going on with Ramsey?
I'm going to say this. I don't know what they were playing this Thursday. I couldn't, because I called half the game because my son had a game that Thursday. So I called half the game. But I want to say, other than the San Francisco game, I know for sure, Jalen Ramsey has gotten torched every game. Besides, I don't know about the San Francisco game, but I know for a fact Tampa Bay torched him. Mike Evans beat him over the top to almost bring the game into overtime.
Yeah.
Since he would have won the Super Bowl if it wasn't for Aaron Donald, because he fell to the ground and got torched. But he got torched early in the playoff in the game also.
Yeah.
Then you turn around and you got torched. I'm not gonna put it 100% on him, but he did get torched from what it looks like. If they were in some kind of man coverage. I've said it. I don't see how we keep putting Jalen Ramsey as a top 5 corner. And I think now that the Rams are in the spotlight, because you have to realize beforehand, when he was with the Jaguars, nobody really watched the Jaguars games.
No.
They were not really. So then when he went to the Rams, he still had somewhat that respect, but lately, now that the Rams is a Super Bowl contender and that they won the Super Bowl, now what you watch, you get to see their games, and good receivers, he's getting torched. But again, I don't know what coverage, because they run a lot of cover 3, cover 4 kind of base. Like,
yeah, but you got to think though. Hey, listen, we're going to go against Josh Allen, and you're going to be manning up, or at least in the vicinity of Stephon Diggs, and Stephon Diggs gets targeted 9 times, catches 8 for 122 and a touchdown. What's going on? You couldn't even get half of those targets off of him. He blew you away.
Again, I saw the one when he got beat for the touchdown.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what that was from. And I only seen half of, like, I couldn't see the other safeties. For some reason that was kind of like a cover 2 or a cover 4 shell.
Yeah,
because he wrote it, but then he never got onto Diggs. Assuming that since the safety was like outside the hash, that the safety was going to be there, but he never got over top of it. So I mean, again, I have to watch the game and see what the coverage is that they're running. So I can't put it all on him, but I'm going to put some on him. But again, I don't think Jalen Ramsey is a top 5, top 10 corner in the game right now.
Rams were held to under 200 yards passing, 52 yards rushing. It was just a terrible day. The Bills, 292 yards total passing, 121 yards total rushing. They had 4 turnovers, Buffalo did, compared to the Rams 3, but they still won the game because their defense hit in 7 sacks. Besides the interception to touchdown ratio, Stafford's completion percentage wasn't that bad. He was 29 of 41, 240 yards. Darrell Henderson, they tried to go ahead and get him working, 13 carries, 47 yards. It wasn't really that great of an average. And Cooper Kupp was just – he and Higbee. Check this out. Here's how bad Higbee played, and I regret drafting him, by the way, in my fantasy draft. 11 targets, 5 catches. And I can count 3 of those were in his friggin' hand, and he dropped it because he was looking to run. But 13 catches, 128 yards, 1 touchdown for Cooper Kupp in a losing effort. That's like basically having your best hitter in baseball hit 3 home runs, all solo shots, and losing the game 4-3. That's how it is. You go ahead and you have your best guy click and pull in his weight. Everybody else is like, yay, we'll just watch him. Because, again, the next person on your stat list with the yards, Higbee, 39. That's over 90-yard difference. Just crazy. You can't have that. Now, Buffalo, on the other hand, Stephon, 122 yards. Gabriel Davis, 88 yards. Then it drops off. You had those guys who were your main targets. Jamison Crowder had a couple of had 4 targets, caught 3 catches. Zach Moss out of the backfield caught all 6 of his, but those are short gains. But Diggs, man, Diggs just took these proclaimed one of the best cornerbacks in the game and was going to go ahead and put butter and serve him with eggs. Toast. Burnt friggin' toast. I mean, embarrassing. You're the defending Super Bowl champions, and you go ahead and, number one, lose by 21. And on top of that, one of your best cornerback that you have is burnt on multiple occasions. Can't even 9 targets, 8 catches. And I'm sure that one incompletion had nothing to do with the coverage that he had. It was probably overthrown or underthrown or something like that. It was just crazy. Welcome in Michael, who's joining us a little bit on the flip side, but he's there. Welcome, Michael.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. So we were just in the middle of talking about the Rams and Bills game, 31-10. Bills basically went ahead and they went into California, and things were heating up, and not on the Rams side. Things are heating up with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Allen basically leading passer, leading rusher. He was just the one-man Cordell Stewart show going on over there, or in the it just. Do you have any thoughts on the way the game went? Was it a surprise to you because you and Coach picked the Rams?
I did pick the Rams. I thought it was a shocker for me. It didn't turn out how I thought. The Buffalo Bills came into town and handled business. That's all you can say. The Rams probably was just happy they got their rings and wasn't focused and locked on. They thought it was going to be Aaron Donald sacking Josh Allen, and that was the end of the show. So.
Yeah, that was it. And on top of that, too, 90% third down percentage for the Buffalo Bills. It was almost like they were playing the Patriots. Like, hey, third down, no problem. We'll pick it up. No problem. We got this. That's how it was. I think they barely punted, to be honest with you. Matter of fact, yeah, they barely punted. But it was just a whitewash. That's embarrassing. You're playing at home. You went ahead and put on this type of show, which, by the way, it was 50-50, by the way, in that stadium. You had the Bills Mafia yelling and screaming just as loud as the LA fans. Is that maybe a problem? Is that they don't have a true home crowd feel going into these home games there, Mike?
What did the Rams have to cheer for to try to outcompete the Bills?
Well, that's true, but I mean,
the Rams have a strong following, and a lot of them stayed even when they went to St. Louis. It's just LA is just more Raider fans. They're just Raider fans, so they have a strong following. But LA is a Raider town.
Well, I agree. Even now with them going to Vegas, I'm sure if they ever came back to play when they do play the Chargers, I'm sure it'll be Raider fans say, "Yeah, we miss you guys. You guys take the Chargers to Vegas, and we'll take the Raiders back over here." That's the way it goes. Victor, Mike, and myself, we're here. We are the Touchdown Crew. We're on the ASAP Sports Network. Make sure you go ahead and follow our Facebook page. Just type in tdc.asap, and we're there. Go ahead and like it, share it, love it. We're on every Sunday from 10 a.m. all the way until 11:30 or so Eastern time. We're going to be talking about all the games coming up. It is the first week of the NFL season. Randy Jowers went ahead and emailed me his picks. The schedule doesn't work out for him to be on live, so he'll be going ahead and giving me his picks about his game. So we'll go ahead and compare that. So we'll have at least 4 people, me, Coach, Mike, and Randy. We're trying to see if we can get Chicago Mike in here, but his schedule at Wrigley, I guess he's still cleaning toilets or something like that. I don't know. But we'll talk about that anyway. We got some injuries that are happening as well that we'll talk about for the Bucs-Cowboy game. They are going to go ahead and dress Chris Godwin. I don't know. They don't have any specifics on how many snaps he's going to play or anything like that. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it. George Kittle is questionable in the Bear 49er game. So we'll see if he suits up right now. Steelers are playing completely healthy, so they got everybody available. So that's good on their end. And we'll go through each game one by one to kind of get the whole lowdown on everything. Let's actually start that right now. Not picks or anything like that, but let's start with New Orleans. New Orleans and Atlanta. New Orleans and Atlanta. Let's go ahead and start it up right now. Mike having some camera problems going on?
I'm just switching rooms.
Oh, okay.
Hey, man, come on, man. New Orleans. New Orleans is the NFC.
Well, we're not going to pick right now.
Oh, I know. I'm about to break it down.
Okay.
Break it down. And the NFC is the team that can Justin Winston show what he can do. Is he the Justin Winston before the injury, or is he the Justin Winston?
Justin or Jameis?
Jameis. I'm tripping. Jameis.
Do you have a brother?
Jameis Winston. Is it before the injury when he was starting with the Saints, or was when he went back to Tampa? That's the question. Now that you don't have that head coach, that OC there anymore, they retired. And is everybody's role has changed for the New Orleans Saints. You have an arsenal of receivers, and then you have that defense. That defense has always been stout and is always going to be good. You have two corners, arguably could be one of them top 10, top 5. Other ones in the top at least 15. Then you flip it over to the Falcons. Falcons is right now is just pretty much. I think they're in the super rebuild stage. I heard the defensive coordinator speak. He said they just want to be tough and physical. Of course, defense is gonna be okay, but offensively, I don't think they just have enough. I don't know what Mariota has in the tank to carry a full game.
Yeah, that was my question too. Mariota is going to be the starter for Atlanta, correct?
Yes.
I just want to make sure. Okay. So yeah, Mariota is going to be in there. So this is going to be kind of like hey, listen, with the debacle that you went ahead in Tennessee, are you able to go ahead and bring anything to the table for Atlanta? But I think Atlanta is in that position where it's like, hey, even if this flops for us, we can go ahead and still, maybe go after Chase Young in the draft this upcoming. So, but at the same time too, they kind of can give Mariota another chance. Maybe Jimmy G comes up in free agency and he goes over to Atlanta. Again, a couple of options that could be right there. I don't think Mariota is the answer. Maybe this year he's the answer to kind of just, listen, get us through 17 games and we'll worry about next year. But Mike, what do you think in Atlanta? Atlanta with his quarterback situation going up against New Orleans this afternoon, 1 p.m. in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
I believe the Saints got some things, not necessarily to prove, but I think they're on the right track with their offensive unit. When you look at the Falcons, I think this is a find out who we are type season. Because you cannot establish what are there. Somebody we're gonna let it fly and let Mariota carry us, or we're gonna try to ground and pound it. They're trying to find themselves. Like you said, defense is pretty stout. They got a good, strong foundation on the defensive side of the ball. The offense is trying to find themselves, and in that conference, or that division, they're fighting for third place, hands down. So I think they're just trying to find themselves and see what they're gonna do. I don't think they're gonna lay down. I really don't think they're gonna get a top 5 pick. They're gonna be fighting for somewhere within that range, but they're definitely not gonna get the number 1 pick. There's worse teams, but they're trying to find themselves.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering too. It's like, I know Atlanta is not going to be great this year. I can already see, you'll probably see me pick New Orleans anyway. But on the New Orleans side of the ball, like Vic was saying, I think Jameis Winston's got some, Jamie Winston or James Winston or whatever he was calling, but Jameis Winston, I know, still has something to prove there. He's going to go ahead and finally get a chance to start 17 games. Will you stay healthy for 17 games? We don't know, but when he did come out, he had a pretty good touchdown interception ratio, 14-3, when he was playing before he got injured. So hopefully that continues. Hopefully Kamara doesn't get suspended and stays healthy the whole time. We're gonna have to see that. And of course, now they have Jarvis Landry in right there to go ahead and kind of give a little more depth to the receiving core. Marshawn Lattimore still there. Tyrann Mathieu still there. He's actually making his debut in New Orleans. So they've stepped up on the defensive end. So yeah, Atlanta's got some issues that they have to deal with. today at 1 p.m. against New Orleans. Let's go down the list here. Cleveland and Carolina, one of the storyline games where Baker Mayfield just asked, "Oh, what do you think about Carolina?" Or actually, what do you think about Cleveland? What are you going to do with them? I'm going to F them up is the exact words there. I'm going to F them up. Listen, I love the intensity. I love it. I love it. I love it. Mike, is he going to F up Cleveland?
Man, he's just selling tickets. That's what he's good for. He's selling tickets right now. You take away him leaving and the Deshaun Watson, that game has no relevance in nobody's mind. I mean,
I agree. Actually, that actually is a good point. If none of this happened, if Baker's still playing for Cleveland, and you got Sam Darnold or whoever would be there, PJ Walker, since Sam went down, but if it was that matchup, you're right. Nobody would care.
Everybody just like, who you think gonna win? That's it. All right, move on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I don't need neither. I mean, I think not making picks, but you never know what McCaffrey gonna get, how healthy he gonna stay for the season. I never really believed in Baker Mayfield. With weapons, he wasn't good. Without weapons, he wasn't good. He's a system quarterback with the air raid system. Other than that, what has he proven?
Yeah,
he's a gunslinger.
He is. Fly. Yeah, but listen though, he had a bad season last year. He's kind of like the Tides. So right now he had a good season, bad season, good season, bad season. It's his turn to have a good season, right?
Yeah, it's his time.
Right, Vic?
It's a good year, baby. He gonna have a good year.
He in trouble.
It's going. Look, Mike, man, this is it. He's gonna have it. I think he's gonna have a good year. Just for the fact of the matter, he realized the writing's on the wall. This is the last chance I got. So I mean, and there's so many questions, but again, if Christian McCaffrey is not there, that offense is gonna sputter. It's not gonna be as good. Can the receivers catch the ball? Like all those come into place when you talk about Carolina. Defensively, again, another team. They're good defensively. They're gonna be they're gonna be fine in the secondary. They can stop the run, but can that offense make plays? Can those receivers, again, they led the lead. They were tied the lead with drops. You can't have two receivers in the top 10 in drops.
I think Tyler Higbee went to that receiving core and say, "Hey guys, how do you drop balls?" He did a great job He did a great job Thursday on dropping balls.
But you're gonna get a tuned in, focused Baker Mayfield because this is it. This is his last dance.
It's the last dance.
But then now you flip it over to Cleveland. There's no telling what you're going to get with Cleveland. I think when I look at Cleveland always, even last year, because of what they did 2 years ago, you're thinking like, man, AFC Championship, they arrived. They figured it out. Everybody's coming back. Everybody's going to be healthy. But the reality of it is you just don't know because the games that they need to win to show that they're here, they don't win.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the question. Do they have enough offensively now to put up points?
Right now, Carolina's heading into that pretty healthy. Brown's pretty healthy in regards to it. The only thing is questionable. You got Michael Woods questionable on the wide receiver. We do know Greedy Williams, who's a cornerback, is out for the Browns, so they'll be down a cornerback going into this game. Cleveland and Carolina, that is in the Bank of America Stadium, Carolina, 1 p.m. right there on. This will be on CBS. So moving it along, let's go ahead and go to the Bears, where they've actually went ahead and already started submitting proposals for their dome stadium. But they're going to go ahead and face San Francisco 1 p.m. Eastern, which means it's going to be a noon start time over there in Chicago. Kind of interesting. But Niners, Bears coming in. This is going to be Trey Lance's debut. He'll go ahead. I'm sorry, not debut, but this will be his basically his official start of taking over the team. Jimmy G is in there. He's going to be as a backup. We'll see how it goes. Debo, fresh off a new contract. He's in there as well. And then, of course, Chicago's Justin Fields. He'll probably go ahead and get sacked a whole bunch of times. And, David Montgomery hopefully can go ahead and keep up where they're at right now for the injury report right now. George Kittle, he is questionable. We don't know if he's going to be playing. One of the receivers for the Bears, Velus Jones Jr., he is out. so they're going to be out without him, and Dominique Robinson is questionable right now. Guys, do you see Chicago with any type of hope this year? Right now, they're a 7-point dog to the Niners at home. What do you see going into this game? Let's go ahead and start with Coach Vic.
I see Justin Fields. I see Justin Fields being a leader. You got to lead. You got to lead being the coach on the field. So that's the one thing that I see from the Bears. I can't name not a one receiver. I don't even know who that guy you named that was out. So I don't know if that was good or bad. I'm being honest. When I look at the Bears is trying, hey, this is your team. So now just lead and just get that.
So Darnell Mooney is
I know him.
He is your receiver there for the Bears. And again, going back down, Cole Kmet, he's one of the tight ends. Hopefully he gets a couple of grabs, but yeah, you're right. Justin Fields, he is he doesn't have a lot to work with, but now Trey Lance on the other side there, Michael, he's got some weapons there though. Debo could do it all. He's kind of like the Josh Allen, except he's not quarterback. I guess they could make him quarterback though, but
that is one of my things I'm gonna be watching for in that game is seeing how they're going to change the usage of Debo, because I think he was upset that he was back there playing as much running back. And of course, keeping them running backs healthy would be another issue, because it was like every week they had a new one. And since you ain't had film on them, they was able to be very, very productive, but not 2 weeks in a row. And I guess that's coming from a watching the perspective of the game, and also as a fantasy fan. 1 week they great, everybody go snatch up them, and then they do horrible. I think Trey Lance going to be all right, and I think Kittle will probably play to help Lance ease into the season. So the Bears are fighting for top pick.
Oh, so you think the Bears are right up there at number 1 when the season ends?
Yeah, Bears.
When they're holding the draft, the Bears are going to be on the clock come February.
Top 5.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna say number 1.
Man, no, top 5, but top 5, it's going to be a fantasy draft for them. Because if you think,
that's right. They're going to be wiped out. Sorry, I didn't mean
everybody's gone. They only have like 8 people on the contract, so they're about to pretty much do a fantasy draft,
and they'll have like $700 million in the cap. It's like it'll be a spending spree. It's like you want to come play for us? Come on over.
So everybody on the team except Fields is debuting for a roster spot next year.
Fighting for their lives.
They fighting for your lives. So they're gonna compete because you're trying to get that check for next year. But the reality of it is, man, like you said, the 49ers, I always think the 49ers are gonna be fine because they have a great defense. One of the, again, top 2 linebackers in the league. Secondary is a little suspect, but they understand how to run the football. They find ways to run the football, to milk the clock. And now Lance, he doesn't have to throw it 30 times. You throw it 25 times and play defense, they'll be fine.
Charvarius Ward makes his 49er debut in the secondary. So hopefully that kind of helps out the coverage downfield. So again, 1 p.m. Eastern right there, Soldier Field, 49ers and Bears. Like I said, Bears coming in pretty healthy. The Niners do have George Kittle as questionable. He'll probably end up playing though. That's I think our conclusion on that one. Let's go to Cincinnati where the Steelers are coming in. Mitchell Trubisky gets another chance, kind of like Marcus Mariota. He's getting another chance at leading a team, but they're going into the defending AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals, 1 p.m. right there. This will be on CBS. Minka Fitzpatrick coming back, TJ Watt coming back, Chase Claypool, Najee Harris. Now he's going to be his second year. Do they go ahead and lean on him a lot more this year because of Mitchell, or do you think Mitchell is going to take over kind of like the spot that Ben had? Let's start with Michael on this one.
Just like Ben, Coach loves running the ball. Foundation is defense. I think the running game is going to be very, very big, just like always in Pittsburgh. But I still believe Cincinnati is the team to beat in that division. I know somebody going to have something to say.
Oh, yeah. He's already turning his head. He's looking at the wall. He's like, what? Do I need a new color paint over here? The trim's not that good. Coach, go ahead and lay it out.
Man, I'm a Mike Tomlin fan, man. I heard this little podcast he went on, and he got me fired up, man. He's a coach. He's a coach. He said you got to coach these kids, and I think they'll be better. One thing about Big Ben had his moments, but he was Frankenstein back there. He couldn't throw over 10 yards, and he couldn't move. At least having Money Mitch is what the coach called him. When you got Money Mitch, at least you know Money Mitch he can run a little bit. And I think he learned how to play to be the quarterback spot. Plus, he has a little heat on his back anyway because he got Kenny Pickett that looked great in the preseason game. But so I like them. I like the Steelers. I think they're battling for the second best spot in that division.
Second best.
Second.
Who's the first best?
And Baltimore.
So you don't even see Cincinnati as top 3 in that division.
They're top 3, but they're not number 1. Because before, look, we can say what you want. Before the injuries really hit and before Lamar got hurt, they were 9-3.
I see Cincinnati better than Pittsburgh. I can tell you that.
Okay.
No. But anyway,
so we will see because guess who played today?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's also like we'll see with the LA went ahead and just laid an egg at home opening day.
But you know what? There's a difference though.
There's a difference.
Here, and let me ask you this, Mike and Charles.
Go ahead, ask me.
Who in the NFC West can beat the Rams?
Arizona.
You really think Arizona?
Why you say no?
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna say right now because his number 1 receiver got a few weeks out.
Yeah.
How much different is Arizona from Buffalo?
Oh, come on, don't do that. What pass rush is Arizona? We're not even gonna get on that. You think Arizona? You think Arizona?
They have a possibility, of course.
Okay.
I mean, I think San Francisco may have a possibility.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
It all depends on how that young quarterback handles things, and if it's all going to kind of rely on his play.
So
we know what they got in San Fran.
So Mike,
we know what they got there in the Rams, but the Rams. Listen, all you got to do is put your best receiver against Ramsey, and you're lighting it up.
And I agree. And today, I'm hoping it's for other reasons also. I'm hoping that TJ Watts have a big game. Then they put my boy Maxey in the game since he got picked up by Cincinnati Bengals and let him roll out.
You got the Steelers defense in your fantasy league, don't you?
No, I don't. Man, I didn't even look. I'm so mad about my fantasy. I didn't even get to pick none of them. And I looked at this team. I said, "Oh my God, Lord."
Dude, I saw you pick up Jameis Winston for crying out loud. Thinking, "Oh yeah, okay, he's bad."
I had to get James. I was like, I don't have a quarterback. I'm like, I didn't get none of the quarterbacks. And then on top of that, I got Hollywood. I'm like, Hollywood can't catch football. How did I pick him over some of these other receivers? Like, because I never did it. I never done it on NFL fantasy.
Yeah.
So I never done it. So I'm up here thinking I'm doing a wish list. Thought I had it like auto. No, sir. That didn't go as planned. I said, all right.
No. Listen, I think I have too many quarterbacks. Maybe I should trade you Tom Brady.
What's up?
Yeah, I'll trade you Tom Brady. I'll have to take a look at it. I'll have to take a look at that.
All I know is I got running game. I got a running game. Hey, we went run heavy, so we're gonna ride with it. But anyway, man.
All right, yeah. Back to the Steelers and Bengals. Bengals are actually coming in 6.5-point favorites.
Yes.
Let's ask that. Do you think the Bengals actually cover that? Do you think the Steelers actually make it close?
So you want us to pick?
No pick. I just want to say cover or not cover. I guess maybe it's a pick, but
they're not. Steelers gonna make it close. Another reason I say that because they're gonna play defense.
Okay.
if you and not only that they're gonna play defense, they've been scouting this team for months. You
Right.
already played them twice in the regular season last year, so you've been watching film and figuring out the tendencies. Because if you go back and you look, the Steelers played Buffalo the first game of the season, and the Steelers beat them.
By the way, just to let you know, coach's team. Michael, let me ask you that question before I go to coach's fantasy team. 6.5-point favorites for Cincinnati. They cover, or do the Steelers make it close?
I don't think they cover.
Okay.
I don't think they cover.
So you think it's 7
a
plus?
divisional game, huh?
So you think 14 plus?
14 points?
No. It's
under 6.5.
Under 6.5. So it's
under
gonna be close.
okay.
Yeah. So they don't cover.
So here we go. Here's coach's fantasy team on the touchdown crew fantasy team. Matthew Stafford is quarterback. You got Zeke and Joe Mixon at the running game. Deontay Johnson and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Mark Andrews for the tight end. Flexing this week, Dalvin Cook. You have Melvin Gordon, Rashad Penny on the bench, Marquise Hollywood, and Alan Lazard, and Kadarius Toney for the Giants on the bench, and Jameis Winston on the bench. You got did you just not switch Jameis Winston in time for Matthew Stafford, because Matthew just again 15.8 points. That's not very good.
Yeah, I wanted to switch the two. Like I said, this is my first time messing with this NFL fantasy. I always do it on like Yahoo and ESPN.
What's wrong with Stafford? He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
No, yeah, not against. I wanted Winston against the Falcons.
The Falcons, I believe that.
That looks like a good 300-400 yards, 3 touchdown game.
Absolutely.
But it's all good. I'm gonna bounce back. I'm about to start doing some things.
I don't like trading time. Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm riding with Brady this week, and then I'll think about trading next, depending if he gets hurt or not. If he gets killed, I'll trade Brady. All right, let's move on. Again, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. This is going to be a division battle. I think it's going to be a great game. This is in Cincinnati, 1 p.m. on CBS. Make sure you catch it. Well, let's go to Detroit, where the green Philadelphia Eagles are taking care of the Lions. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. Are they really taking care of the Lions? I think they are. But again, the Eagles. Yep. The Eagles in Detroit, Ford Field, 1 p.m. start time. This will be on Fox. Right now, Eagles coming in healthy. Nobody on the injury list. By the way, but back to the Steelers. Deontay Johnson, one of your receivers, by the way, who's on the bench. But he was actually trying to shake off a knee injury, but apparently he was a full participant on Friday, so they took him off the injury list. But Eagles they're ready to go. Not anybody in for noteworthy for the Lions. Looks like they're okay. But again, it's the Lions, even in Detroit. Now, granted, I guess there's some buzz going on in Detroit because they sold out. When was the last time Detroit sold out a game? Barry Sanders?
Say, man, Hard Knocks, baby.
Well, yeah, that's true, I guess.
Hard Knocks made people believe of the Detroit. Like, they did a good job, man. Have you want to root for the Detroit Lions?
Yeah.
And I wish nothing but the best for them, but nah, you don't have that guy, not yet. I feel like that can really get you over the top on both sides of the ball. I think you have the potential. I think you're still like this close. They're gonna play hard. Yeah, it's close. They're gonna play hard and they're gonna battle, but I don't think they have enough. Because even if you look at the preseason games, it always came down to the wire. And sometimes they made a play, sometimes they didn't. So I think that's the one thing when it comes with the Lions. You watched Hard Knocks, you root for the guys, and you was like, okay, you hear the coach, he gets you fired up. You see the coaches, they coaching their ass off, players playing hard. But it's always something that just can't get over the hump.
What do you think that is? What do you think that is in Detroit? That one player or one position they need to get it over the top, or maybe multiple positions. But when you say this close, I'm always thinking maybe one player or one position that needs to happen.
Well, defensively, who do you have? Like who's that standout guy? You drafted a D lineman, DN that hopefully give you the pass rush that you need. But who else? Who's that linebacker?
Well, you have Hassan Riddick. Excuse me, that's Detroit. I'm sorry. You have Charles Harris, who had 7.5, and you have 7.5 sacks. So he's your sacker, apparently. But I'm not even going to try here. Armani was had 6 interceptions last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's always the thing about it is it has to. And that's the hardest question because I mean, even me coaching now, trying to figure out. Like,
but you really think defense is the issue? Because right now they only scored 19.1 points a game last year.
It's not that it's not necessarily that it's defense. It's always one or the other. Because if you go back and you look, you was taking when they played Baltimore. Baltimore drove the field on them at the end. Defense played good all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And then you can flip it to the other side. Offense played good, then they threw a turnover. Like it's always for some reason. They're there. You just can't get over the hump, and it's one of those. It's a loser mentality. And you're trying to not only change the culture, but you also got to get some older vets that used to winning. Perfect example, like I said about Von Miller. Von Miller going to the Buffalo Bills. Now it wasn't just his pass rushing; it's the skills of I was the MVP in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I played in the Super Bowl, and when you look at a lot of these teams, who is that guy? When you look at Detroit Lions, who is that guy that you could say?
No, I don't think anybody's on there. There's nobody on there. Nobody wants to play for Detroit. That's the problem. Yeah. Unless they go ahead and have some type of salary cap that like the Bears are going to have next year. I don't think they're going to play for him.
Yeah.
Michael, I know I know what you're going to pick on this one, but let's talk real quickly about it here. Obviously, Philadelphia probably takes this in your mind, but Jalen Hurts, man, does it hurt to see Hurts on your team, or does he do enough to go ahead and just take this team maybe to the playoffs?
No, he gonna get us to the playoffs. He got to prove me so wrong because he has a lot to do to prove me wrong. I'm not a Jalen fan, but I think the defense is coming together quite well, and he has weapons around him. My thing is when he's doing his RPO, get a ball. Give the ball. Let Miles get some carries. Don't always think he got to keep it and run it. You got weapons on the outside, on the edge. You got Dallas affecting the middle of the field. So,
what's your thoughts on A.J. Brown? How do you think he's going to do? He's making his Eagle debut today.
I think A.J. is a weapon for him. Like I said, it helps that you got Smith on the other side, and like I said, Dallas helping in the middle of the field. You got a run game. I think just Jalen, I'm not a fan. Jalen is at all. It's just Jalen is the weak link in my eyes. I know others won't say it, won't believe it, especially down here in Texas. They think Jalen is one of the great quarterbacks for Houston, but hometown favorite.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The reason why they like Jalen in Philadelphia is because Dallas plays him twice and thinking, oh yeah, we could easily beat these guys with Jalen at quarterback, no problem.
Who else would you want?
Yeah. Who else would you want? I mean, obviously, you probably have the pick. If you had the pick of the litter that's out there as a free agent or possible trade bait that teams will actually get rid of, who would you want?
Man, it's a lot of people I would take in front of him. I mean, we can go.
You probably call Ryan Mallett before you call like anybody else there, won't you?
Nah. We can go. Of course, all the big names. You don't like Kyler. You don't like Russell.
Well, again, keep in mind teams that will get rid of these quarterbacks.
Hold on, man. First off,
yes, I will take Russell before Jalen Hurts. Yes,
of course. First off, let me say this: it's not that I don't like Kyler. I don't like the offensive thing, so I never think they're going to be as good as people think they are. I think Russ is not as good as people think they are. That's it.
Okay.
All right. All right,
go ahead.
We'll motor through these here, but any last words there, Michael, on the game or the Eagles?
That's an easy. That's put +1 for y'all when you say Eagles gonna win that one.
Oh, thank you very much. All right, we get some brownie points for that one. Eagles are favored by 4.5. You think it's going to be more than or less?
Over.
Okay. All right, let's move on to Houston. We got the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans. Max Ryan will go ahead and make his Indianapolis Colt debut against the Texans, led by Davis Mills, 1 p.m. in Houston, NRG Stadium, CBS. Right now, the injury lookout right now does not really show anybody that's different, except Mario Addison, who is a defensive end for the Texans, says doubtful. And outside linebacker Shaquille Leonard for the Colts is out with a back injury. Everybody else seems to be performing okay. And the Colts come in as the 7-point favorite against Houston. Houston doesn't have a bad team, but they may not have the greatest of team. You got Brandon Cooks there who's going to receive the ball. Davis Mills, he did okay in regards to, first-year quarterbacks. But does the Texans have any hope against the Colts today? We'll start with Coach. Coach, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think they have a chance. Lovey's going to have the defense right. They're going to stop the run game. They're going to make them try to throw the football.
So you think Lovey's going to stop Jonathan Taylor?
I think they're going to stop the run game, and they're going to try to make him throw the football.
Mike, you agree? Jonathan Taylor, can he be stopped? And is Lovey's defense
able to stop though? What do we when we say stop? Are you talking about
under 100 yards and under a touchdown or two?
He'll have a touchdown. He'll hit 100. I'm not going to disrespect that man like that.
Okay. I was like saying, so he ain't stopping the running game.
But if you load the box and say, hey, my receivers, my DBs is better than your receivers. Hence the fact that's why you got that boy out of LSU in the third pick of the draft, because he's going to lock on who you think is your best receiver, and let's play football. And Leonard is a big loss for the Colts on the defensive side.
It is, yes.
It is a huge loss at that linebacker spot. So
122 tackles, but again, that's just for right now. It's procedure, so he should be all right coming back soon though. But Stephon Gilmore makes his debut in Indianapolis. Does he have any gas left in the tank, folks?
Yeah.
Obviously not top 5 corner, but
no.
It's on a quarter. It's on a quarter tank. He on a quarter tank.
All right.
He on the quarter. He can go.
Now, Stephon Gilmore versus Davis Mills. And, of course, they're probably going to put him, if I'm not mistaken, probably against Cooks. What do you see on that matchup, Gilmore versus Cooks?
It's going to be hard because they're going to move Cooks around.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to follow him and be locked on him the whole game.
You think he's going to play a little more zone? You think
so? I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to be just like you got him all game.
No, he's gonna play. He's gonna play an area because they're gonna move Cooks around. He's the motion guy because they got big tall receivers. So Cooks he's the slot guy that's going to play in the middle.
Yep. So there you go. So Colts are a 7-point favorite. Do you think Colts win by more than 7, or do you think Houston keeps it close or possibly win?
Are you asking or are you telling?
No. Those are 3 options. How am I telling you this? Do you guys? Indianapolis.
It all leads to picks, huh?
Yeah, it leads to picks.
No, here's the thing. You could say that Indianapolis wins by less than 7, or Houston close.
I say it's 7.
Okay. Yeah, we're not making official picks yet. That's coming soon. We're trying to breeze through these games and analyze them. I already know what you guys think of this one, and I'm kind of with you guys too as well. Patriots and Dolphins in Miami, Hard Rock Stadium, CBS, 1 p.m. Mac Jones coming back for his 2nd year. Tua's got some new weapons. Hill, along with Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki. I mean, it all looks good. Chase Edmonds is going to make his Miami debut as well. Yeah, it don't look good for the Patriots. The Dolphins 3.5 favorites. Jacoby Myers is going to play, even though he's listed on the injury chart. Ty Montgomery and Isaiah Wynn is questionable, both of them there. But pretty much Eric Rowe is the only one I see really that's going to be a problem with the Dolphins. But he is listed as questionable, so he may still play. We'll see. But, what do you see the Patriots need to do to beat the Dolphins, if at all?
pray.
Okay. Now, realistically,
send Miami's bus to the wrong stadium. Kidnap all the receivers from Miami.
You guys are harsh. Coach, can you give me some actual what can New England do to beat Miami?
Control the clock, run the football, and keep everything underneath them.
Now, is that even possible with two speed burners like Waddle and Hill?
I mean, here's the thing, and we've talked about it all the time. I'm very intrigued on how this offense really going to work because you haven't seen it yet. So now I'm wondering, and you have a new head coach, new OC, his style. He's pretty much going to take that Shanahan style, run the football. You picked up free agent, plus you already had a running back. You re-signed your tight end. You have a left tackle. So the thing, I'm just curious to see how the offense is really going to flow. That's the one question. If it flows, I'm with Mike. Pray, because there's nothing you can do, because there's nothing on the Patriots. They don't have a receiver that can beat the one-on-one. You're gonna try to run the football. Because that's what any defense coordinator, they always say what? Run the football. So guess what? Your OC who call plays, he's a defensive guy for years, so he's gonna want to run the football. He want to establish the run and then try to get the play action off of that. But I just don't see it. You're small, and then you flip it back over to New England. You're smaller in the D line. It's a lot of questions, but it all depends on how they flow offensively for Miami. If it flows and he has a good rhythm and a good balance of run and pass, then yes, it's going to be ugly.
Now, Edmonds and Gaskin have both been dealing with some injuries, but they've been cleared. Jalen Waddle also with a quad, but they've been upgraded to full participants. Mike, go ahead. What were you going to say?
The question I got for you, both of y'all is, like you said, you want to keep everything in front. How many times, let's say they get 70 plays on defense, how many times you think they're going to play man? Because that OC don't mind sending, and the cheetah doesn't mind going underneath on the little drag and turning that drag into a 15-yard catch. So how long do you let that keep it in front of you, eat you up before you say we need to come down, and then they start going over top of you?
So if anything, and I don't know what plan they have there, but we already know the cornerbacks that the Patriots have are not going to go ahead and compete one-on-one with these guys. We already know that. So there's going to be a lot of zone, but I think they need to go ahead and disguise their coverages as best they can to kind of confuse Tua. That's the only thing I can think of, because when he does throw, you want to confuse him. You want to confuse the hell out of him. But now we got to make sure that we got Edmonds and Gaskin contained, that they're not breaking out for 10, 15, 20-yard runs either. So it's going to be really complex. It's going to be a chess battle, which Belichick is a chess man. So we'll see what's going on. But I think that Heat's going to have some issues to do as well. That's going to be a problem. But and also Miami's always been an issue for the Patriots. It really is.
No, yeah. Especially in Miami.
In Miami, yeah.
Yep.
It's in Miami. But I mean, it's because, like you said, you look at Miami, Mike. We just the two question marks: the play calling and Tua. That's the only question mark.
Yeah. Then like you say, if they can go ahead, if they look good like they did in preseason, man, we're in trouble. You're right. Patriots in trouble.
But I will give Belichick, like you said, the chess man, with him having all that time to study them and get them prepared for Miami. It gives them a little help. It helps them a little bit.
See what I tell you, Charles. Look, everybody always does that. They
always go to Belichick.
Everybody.
All right.
Regardless.
All right. We gotta roll through here. So let's go. Let's move on. We have the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets. Lamar Jackson, of course, he is like.
That's it. That's all you need to say.
I honestly think Coach has a date with Lamar Jackson later on, or some type of fantasy wish, or the Make-A-Wish Foundation with Lamar, but he's in love with him.
No, it's not that I'm in love with him. I hate. He's been disrespected coming out from the draft to now. He's always been disrespected. but he wins 80%, 80 over 80% of his games. He improved each year, even in the playoffs. Last year, before he got hurt, they were 9-2, 9-3. I can't know the exact. They was number one in the AFC before he got hurt. But still, he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. That's my thing about Lamar. Anybody when you hate and the facts show that he's better, I join on your side. Now you look at the Jets, man. The Jets they just trying to survive. You got your left tackle out, right tackle out, quarterback out. Like everybody's out. So it's just like, hey, again, it's just
it's not going to be a pretty sight in New York. Obviously, Ravens favored by 6.5. I think it should be probably more.
Right. Way more.
Yeah, it should be way more. I think it's going to be a lot more. It's just unfortunate. I mean, listen, Joe Flacco can still go ahead and manage the game and everything like that. So maybe it won't be such an embarrassment. You got we're just gonna have to see. We got Mike, a new running back, which I don't know why they have in Baltimore. Mike Davis makes his debut. I don't know why you even bother having running backs. It's Lamar, right? It's the Lamar show.
Nah, you fine.
Yeah. Now the only benefit for the Jets is playing in MetLife Stadium, and you get to see it 1:00 on CBS. Right now, like you said, Jets have a whole slew of injuries in regards. Marcus Peters, the quarterback for the Ravens, he is questionable. J.K. Dobbins is questionable. Both of them dealing with knee injuries. Travis Jones, the tackle inside there for the Ravens, is out with a knee.
But those are the knee injuries. Because then Peterson, he tore his ACL also. I know Dobbins did.
Yeah.
During training camp.
But they're listed as questionable, so they could suit up still.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on. In Washington, the first game officially for the Commanders up against the Jaguars. Second-year quarterback Trevor Lawrence is got some new weapons as well. Right now, everybody seems to be kind of injury-free. Logan Thomas, Cole Turner, both tight ends of the Commanders. They're dealing with knee and hamstring issues, respectively. They're questionable. But everybody else seems to be pretty healthy. So Travis Etienne will go ahead and finally make his debut a year after he should have. Do you think he makes a difference in the Jaguars offense? And how do you feel about that there, Coach Mike?
I liked Etienne. I liked him in college. I think he's a solid running back. He helps the Jaguars offense, but I still think they're at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to just the whole league in general. He definitely adds a weapon to relieve some of that weight off the quarterback, but not enough to change what the outcome is going to be still for the Jaguars.
Coach, you were wiping your face. I'm not sure if it was sweat coming down because you were anxious to talk.
No. It's all good. No, I mean if anybody that's on here should know about the Jaguars, especially the coaching staff, is Mike, because he's with Philly, and I think they're gonna kind of run similar to what they did in Philly, because he has a mobile quarterback, an athletic quarterback. He has running backs that he could play with, and the receiving core is pretty decent. So this year is a learning to see how far has Trevor Lawrence progressed with the Jaguars. More so than anything, they don't have anything on defense, so this year is just let's get the offense rolling. Let's get Trevor Lawrence, put him in a successful position. But other than that, I mean, Jaguars still a top 5 team.
Draft pick. Carson Wentz, Terry McLaurin, that combination. How often do we see their number called?
Oh, they're gonna run the football.
Both. I think they're gonna say Carson. He sneeze away from tearing his ACL again, so he injury prone. They ain't gonna run him too much.
No, I'm talking about they're gonna run the football.
Okay.
And they're gonna say, Carson, you get 15 throws, and 10 of them better go to a Scary Terry out there.
Okay. I'm with you now.
Like I said, everybody's pretty healthy. There's a couple of tight ends there for the Commanders that are questionable with knee and hamstring issues. Washington actually is coming in at 2.5-point favorites, so we got them going on. And again, that's in Washington, 1 p.m. start time. That's a Fox game. Next, let's go ahead to Arizona, State Farm Stadium, Kansas City, against the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona, one of the teams that we like to have beat the Rams, but they first got to go ahead and go up against Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, CEH, Juju, And everybody that's on that Chiefs team right there, even though it's held in Arizona, 4:25 start time, it's Kyler versus Patrick. And who's got the upper? Well, let's put it this way: who's going to be the difference maker there in Kansas City now that Tyreek is gone? Who's going to be the number one guy that gets the targets? Let's Vic, go ahead, Vic.
The Kansas City receiver core. They're about to spread this thing all across the field. It's more so, can Patrick Mahomes live to fight another day and don't have to go for the deep ball every time? Because that's what it, and that was the thing that he had to learn last year. They kept two safeties over the top. They still have guys that can blow the top off. Are they Tyreek Hill fast? God, no. But they're still fast.
Okay. Mike, you have anything on there? Chiefs receiving core, any one particular target there for at least fantasy owners to go ahead and spot?
I think Hardeman is going to be the quote unquote replacement for taking the top off, but Juju can still take it off. But I think Hartman going to be the guy that they say replaces him. You can't replace that speed. That's one thing you can't teach speed like that. But their receiving core is solid, and you got a phenomenal quarterback in the backfield, and you still have one of the greatest tight ends. You can argue top 5 tight ends to ever play the game. So I don't think losing that one weapon really changed the dynamics of the offense. And I tell everybody, he was never on that, hey, drop back 5 steps, wait 2 seconds, and then throw it to Tyreek.
Right.
So,
well, for the Cardinals, they're dealing with some injuries. J.J. Watt, questionable. Zach Ertz, calf, questionable. Rolande Moore is out, one of their receivers. But yeah, so you got a couple of big guys right there. So they're going to be possibly without their tight end. So we'll see how that happens. That's a 4:25 game in Arizona at State Farm Stadium. We're going to go right now to the Chargers and Raiders. Chargers and Raiders. That is also a 4:25 game. That's in SoFi, where they had just played the Rams in SoFi as well. So 2 games in SoFi. You know how those schedule makers had to go ahead and put that out. J.C. Jackson, new addition to the Chargers, doubtful with an ankle injury, so he may not be making his Charger debut. And tight end Donald Parham is also doubtful as well. But everybody else, fresh and healthy. Chargers coming in 3.5-point favorites. By the way, the last game, Kansas City Chiefs has a 6-point favorite on that one. Devontae Adams comes in, makes their Vegas debut. Carr and Adams, you got Josh Jacobs there, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. You got a solid list right there for the Raiders on offense. Is there going to be any issues there, especially with one of the greatest offensive-minded coaches that's out there in Josh McDaniels? Go ahead, Mike.
No issues. I don't think they have big egos with their receiving core, and Waller changes the game for that team because he's matchup issues with any defense that he faced. I'm kind of shocked that they're underdogs against the Chargers again. I mean, it's still a close game, but
man, you know why? You know why?
Go ahead, Coach.
You know why they're underdogs. You already know why they're underdogs. But that Raiders offense is nice because you got to pretty much make decisions. Josh McDaniels is a kid in the candy store right now. Whatever you want to do, I can do this, I can do that.
Right.
I can run the football, I can throw it all across the field. You go keep a safety over top. Guess what? Hunter Renfrow and Waller do your work. So that's what makes them what they are. Then you look at the Chargers, man. Offensively, they good. It's on paper, Chargers are good.
Well, let's not go ahead and overlook there. We got Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack there on the defensive side there, maybe putting pressure on Derek Carr.
Yeah, but you could also flip it to say they got Max Crosby and Chandler putting pressure on on the Chargers.
So, let's make a prediction on here. Do you see this being a more offensive game or a more defensive game?
Offense,
Mike?
When you say offense, both teams score more than 25?
Yeah, that's it. That'd be almost like a blow.
No. It's within defense.
I would say right. I don't know what the over under is. I would say 42 total points. That would be considered more offense.
Offense.
I'll give it more than 42. Close 40, 42, 43. I'll give it that.
All right. Again, that's a 425 game. CBS is covering that one, and it's going to be in LA at SoFi Stadium. They, they've changed the carpet over there to match the Charger colors now.
And that's one of them. Don't be shocked. Who's the home team? Well, the
Chargers.
But you're gonna see a whole lot of black and silver. They're probably gonna be more dominant.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about it there. Right, LA's up. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Packers going into Minnesota, US Bank Stadium, taking on the Vikings. Division matchup right here. 425 on Fox. Aaron Rodgers comes in with no receiving core except for Sammy Watkins. Lazard is doubtful, so he's probably not going to play. Everybody on the Minnesota side seems to be okay. Are the Green Bay Packers in trouble, or has Aaron Rodgers got just enough to go ahead and make it competitive? Go ahead, either one of you guys, whoever wants to chime in first.
I mean, they're gonna make it competitive. Aaron Rodgers still, I mean, he's a two-time MVP, so reigning MVP. So he's gonna get it right. He's gonna get the receiver core is gonna be right. I like the head coach. He does a great job of a balance of throwing screens, drags, and running the football. You got a two-headed monster in the backfield, so they're gonna be fine. Defense is gonna be stout. You have your corners coming back from injury from last year, so everybody's healthy now.
Yep, Stokes and Alexander and Douglas. Yep.
Yeah, so defensively they're gonna be sound. So,
Mike, what say you?
I think they're gonna be okay. I would like to be a fly on the wall if they get a 2-game losing streak and everybody, because it's already been proven that he'll throw your receivers under the bus.
Oh yeah, he will. He will do that.
That can cause a lot of conflict in the locker room, and it's going to carry over into the field. So
now,
that's going to be a team to watch because of that.
Like if you're Aaron Rodgers and you see across the field, you got Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and you're like, damn it, why didn't I just go to Minnesota? They have all these weapons there, but you got Kirk Cousins.
Because they're paying him $50 million.
All right.
Hey, I will move to Green Bay and play with whoever for that amount of money.
All right, fair enough. Kirk Cousins with all these weapons there in Minnesota at home. Do you see them standing a chance? Not to say picking them. Do they say standing a chance against Green Bay to go ahead and pull off an upset? Even though it's not going to be a huge upset, Green Bay's only 2.5.
I don't think that's an upset.
I mean, we look at the Vikings. We're not worried. To be honest with you, it's not the offense that we're worried about with the Vikings. It's more so, again, it goes back to this defense, because they couldn't stop anybody, and the play calling. That's it. Because you
got two new linebackers. You got Zadarius Smith and Jordan Hicks making their debuts. So do you see them playing a factor in making that defense better, or do you just see the same old from Minnesota?
No, they make them. Of course, they'll make them better. You get your legit pass rush. It just goes back to what can they stop people, and are they gonna make the right offensive play call? Because you got guys. That's what's so crazy about all this. You got guys that never really called plays. They was next to the guy that called the plays, that made the decisions, and now they're in a position of where they have to call the plays and find their identity. The question is, are they going to find their identity, or are they going to still try to be the identity of the coach that they left, which was a lot of them was Sean McVay or Shannon.
Mike, I'll give you the last word on this game.
It's really not much to say. I think they're good on offense. I think they got enough firepower to really put the game out of hand. I don't think Green Bay's chemistry is good as everybody think it is on the offensive side of the ball, and that's going to cause conflict.
So, like we mentioned,
I don't think you come around that quick.
Okay,
and start believing that quick.
So, like we mentioned, Lazard is probably not going to play. He's doubtful. So you got rookies, Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson is going to see the bulk of the snaps, according to CBSSports.com, if Lazard doesn't play. So there you go with Green Bay. So it could be a doomsday scenario there in Minnesota. Yeah. Let's go to Tennessee, where we got the Giants against the Titans in Tennessee. This is a 425 game. This will be a Fox game, by the way. And hey, listen, Tennessee's coming in. I'm actually trying to look for their injury report. They were kind of lined up, but now I got to kind of search. But here we go. So listen, all I was looking for is Derrick Henry out? No, he's not. He's playing. Got a couple of people out there, though. You got cornerback Lonnie Johnson, cornerback Elijah Molden, both out for the Titans. Linebacker Chance Campbell and offensive tackle Jamarco Jones, both of them out. So you got 4 players out there. Giants are coming in okay. Everybody's questionable if they're looking at. But the Giants also don't really have anything going on. Sterling Shepard was actually limited, but he's expected to play anyway. But Saquon healthy, Shepard is healthy, Kenny Golladay healthy, Daniel Jones healthy, which may be not the greatest thing. Do the Giants go ahead and actually have any offense that they can go ahead and against Tennessee? Tennessee again, you got to look at. They're a defensive force. Are the Giants in trouble? Mike.
No, I don't think the Giants are in trouble. I think they're it's a pick again. I think they're going to lose, but I think this game is going to be based on whose run game is going to be the most sound. And I think the storyline that everybody's going to be watching with this game is what is Tannehill doing? How well is he playing?
Yeah, that's
what everybody's going to be watching.
Coach, what do you say?
I'm kind of with him. It's the same way. One thing about Tennessee, man, they always have injuries, but they always find a way. They figure it out. So,
Mike Vrabel, a Patriot guy. He knows how to utilize all his weapons, doesn't he? Robert Woods, kind of a storyline, makes his Tennessee debut. He'll be right there in the receiving core. Austin Hooper, tight end, makes his Tennessee debut. So they kind of bulked up a little bit on the offensive side for Tannehill. So it is kind of like Tannehill. Here it is. What are you going to do? And we'll find out what's going on. Tennessee does come in at a 5.5-point favorite. This is in Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. It's a 4:25 start time. Fox game. Make sure you go ahead and check it out. Sunday night in AT&T Stadium. It is the Bucs and Cowboys. We all know the scenario on this one. Tom Brady coming in. We got Russell Gage and Chris Godwin questionable, even though we did find out reports that Godwin is playing. Not sure if he's going to be on a snap count or what, but we got tight ends Cameron Brate and Kyle Rudolph going to go ahead and take the snaps there. Leonard Fournette and this makeshift offensive line. And, of course, Julio Jones is out there, by the way, just in case nobody knew about that. Cowboys ain't no slouch, though. They may not have had the receivers that they had before, but CeeDee Lamb's still out there. Zeke is still trying to prove himself because he's been kind of dipping down. But Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs on that defense, are they going to cause Tom Brady any trouble going down the road there? I'm going to save Vic for the later on because I know he's going to have a lot to say on this game. But, Mike, what do you say?
No, I really believe their secondary is what Brady's – I mean, that's what he has to expose. He's going to expose that quarterback over there trying to jump a double move a couple of times in the game because he's going to beat him on slants, and then he's going to try to jump one, and it's going to be perfect timing. Tampa Bay, I believe, has just too many weapons for Dallas to compete with them. Yeah, they're on paper. They look like it should be a close game. They look good on the receiving core. I think Zeke is still a solid running back. I just think he needs to not be so first down, we're going to run it. Give it to Zeke. And then it's like, okay, everybody let the other running back come in, then they back off, and that's when they do a good job running the ball. So you got to mix him in and just change the concept of what they're calling the play calls.
Okay. Coach?
Dallas gets beat. Go ahead,
Coach.
brother.
No, I mean, Tampa Bay just going to shut up a lot of the naysayers because we're not picked because all the issues with Tom Brady. You want to talk about the interior offensive line? Okay. That's pretty much it. Biggest concern for me is the secondary. Out of everybody, is the secondary and special teams. We suck on special teams. So, but other than that, I mean, you got the Cowboys. It's everybody's position has changed. Now, let's see, can the new 88 be the number one target? Can Dak do what he does? Can Zeke get that contract? Because he's battling for a contract this year.
Right.
D-line, go ahead.
Actually, got John on the phone. We got a caller in. So, John, go ahead.
Good luck today, Coach Bennett. Go Cowboys. Yeah, baby. Woo!
I had to get him in, right? All right. Thanks, John. But no, go ahead and continue, Coach.
No, that's it. That's it.
All right.
Cowboys is a possibility playoff team, but that's it. I'm not entertaining this. Let the game talk.
This is the Sunday night game, 8:20 p.m. kickoff. NBC will carry it. With their new team, Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. No more Al Michaels. No, he'll be doing Amazon Prime on Thursday nights. I still don't get how that's happening. Javon Curse over in the Cowboys sideline is questionable. Michael Gallup is listed as out. So that is just going to be one less receiver for Dak to go ahead and throw to. But here we go. Monday Night Football. This is the big storyline. Even bigger than Baker shutting everybody up, because he really doesn't have anything against, Cleveland, does he? Really? Or maybe he does. I don't know. Denver coming into Seattle. Guess who's coming back? Russell Wilson's coming back. With a new team, new colors, probably a new mixture of booze coming out of that stands. Right now, taking a look, Seattle's, for the most part, injury-free. There's a few backups that are kind of hurting right now, but they're all listed as questionable. And so same thing with the Broncos. Broncos are all pretty much okay, ready to go. Everybody that's main right there, Melvin Gordon, Cortland Sutton, they're going to play, and Russell's going to play. So Seattle, I don't know how they're going to go ahead. I think they're gunning for that number one slot. Honestly, that number one draft pick. DJ and Tyler, man, they're just going to be kind of very disappointed until they get an arm back there. What say you guys? Does Russell Wilson come on in and show up his old team?
Puts on a great show.
A great show. How about
great
that?
Show. With the run game that he has with him and that receiving core, I like Sutton and Judy. He puts on a great show. Now, when I say great, I'm talking 350. I think 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think when they get in the red zone, they're really gonna try to make him shine, and he gonna connect.
All right, Coach.
I think it's gonna be an intriguing game, but I think Russ is gonna beat. Oh, can't take a pick.
Listen, it's already out there. I mean, you can go ahead and make picks, but it's not official until I write it down.
Okay, I think he's gonna have a good game. I think his game is gonna be closer than what people think, because there's a lot of emotions. I don't know. Going back to Seattle, coming in on business side, kind of the same way with Tom Brady. So that's one of the things I'm very curious about how it's going to go. But I think it's going to be closer than what people think.
All right. Well, there you go.
And Mike, if he doesn't have a good performance, you won't hear me say anything about Russ. I'm not saying nothing after 1 week, because I already know.
And when he has one, or does he have a new supporter?
No, not after 1 week. No.
All right, gentlemen. We are way past time, which is okay. We don't really mind. Let's go ahead and get to our picks and get this show out of here so we can go ahead and enjoy some National Football League games. Let's start off with Atlanta and New Orleans. I'm going to go ahead and go first. I say New Orleans.
Who that? Them Saints, baby.
Mike?
I agree. New Orleans.
No.
No.
Let's go to Cleveland, Carolina. I listen. I like Carolina. I think Baker will F them up.
Carolina. Yep, because I remember them bastards last year. I picked the Browns and they got slaughtered.
I'm taking Cleveland.
Mike taking Cleveland. Randy went ahead and took Cleveland. By the way, Randy also took New Orleans, so we're going to go ahead and stick with that. Let's go San Francisco, Chicago in the Bear Country. Going with the Niners. Niners, everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody has any hope for Chicago on that game, apparently. All right, let's go on to the next one. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Ooh, I'm going to go with Cincy.
Cincy, put me down. Write it down.
Mike says Cincy. Coach says. Coach is
Pittsburgh, baby, let's go.
I knew that was coming.
Pittsburgh, baby, let's go. I know I ain't gonna lie. I thought about it, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna go different this year. I'm going opposite of y'all.
Randy goes ahead and pits Pittsburgh, so he'll be joining Coach on that one. Let's go Philadelphia, Detroit, 1:00 game.
Uh-oh. Hard
Fly,
enough.
Eagles, fly.
Yeah, we got that one.
I got Eagles.
Coach, you got Eagles.
Eagles Hurts for 4 touchdowns, 450 yards passing.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with Randy, Detroit.
I don't know which statement is crazier. What?
All right. All right, let's go. Miami, New England. I got Miami.
Said that fast.
He did.
Well, you guys, I don't have a lot of hope on that. Number one, we're already tough enough in Miami. Number two, we don't have the defense that we used to have. We don't have the cornerbacks we used to have. And number three, you got 2 speed burners that are just going to torch us. So I'm listen, go Patriots all the way. I'm hoping for. Listen, I'm picking with my mind, not my heart.
I feel you.
Go ahead, guys, Vic.
Miami.
Come on, man. All right, it's unanimous. Miami gets it right across the board. Let's go Baltimore and the Jets. Yeah.
Ravens?
In Lamar, we trust. Let's go.
Baltimore across the board. Let's go next to Jacksonville and Washington. I'm gonna let you guys go first on this one.
Commanders on mine.
Commanders?
Yeah, I was about to say the same.
Just to kind of break up the monotony, I'm gonna go Jacksonville, and that's what Randy went with too.
He just said that because the Colts lost to him.
Probably. Let's go Indianapolis and Houston. In Houston, again, debut for Matt Ryan. I will go Houston.
Taking the Colts.
No, wait. Hold on. I just realized I picked against Jonathan Taylor. Indianapolis.
I got Colts.
Colts too. Gee. Okay, Indianapolis with a clean sweep on that one. All right, let's go. Giants, Tennessee. I got Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I'll take the Titans.
All right. Green Bay, Minnesota. Ooh.
I'll take the Vikings.
Where is it? It's in Minnesota?
It is in Minnesota, yes.
I take the Vikings.
I'm taking the Packers. Against the green. Let's go to Arizona at KC and the Cardinals.
Chiefs, baby.
Chiefs. I'll have to agree. Chiefs.
I give you that one, Chiefs.
Nah, you got to ride with your boy, huh? Arizona.
God.
They gonna go 0-1.
Raiders and Chargers. What do we got? Raiders. Who said that? Because that was the neutral voice. Who said Raiders?
He said Raiders. But you already know I'm going with the Raiders because didn't I say they're making the playoffs and they're the second best team in the division?
Oh, but we don't care what you do in the regular season as long as you make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think the Raiders have not only the home support, but they also not home support, but they have that crowd support. Plus, they just got better personnel. Dallas Buccaneers Sunday Night Football.
TB12.
Oh, by the way, Randy went ahead and picked the Chargers, Chiefs, Minnesota, and Tennessee. So, Mike.
I'll take the Bucks.
Bucks.
They can't tie.
I'm just making this pick to make one person happy. I'm going Cowboys.
Ooh.
God, I would love it if I'm right. By the way, Randy went with the Bucs as well. And Monday Night Football, Denver, Seattle. I got Denver.
Denver, of course. I mean, I don't know what else to talk about.
There isn't.
If you got Jalen throwing 450, how many you got him throwing?
I have Denver.
Yeah, Denver. I was like saying, come on now. Who's not going to pick Denver? Just going through, Daniel went ahead and picked with us here. He's got Saints, Panthers, Niners, Bengals, Eagles, Dolphins, Ravens, Commanders, Colts, Titans, Minnesota. Again, Minnesota's not really an upset, but he said it's his upset. KC, Chargers, Bucks, Broncos. So there you go. Thursday night football. We have to pick Thursday because, well, hell, we're not here until next Sunday. So we got to skip to week 2. Thursday night football is the Chargers at the Chiefs. And that's on the first game of Prime Video's Thursday night presentation of the NFL. Chargers, Chiefs. Who do you got?
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
And I'll go along with that. Chiefs. By the way, Randy picked the Chargers.
Of course he did.
Ladies and gentlemen, about 20 minutes over, but we are done. Week 1 is in the books. For myself, we got Coach Vic, Coach Mike. We want to say thank you very much for watching. Thanks for commenting. Enjoy the football games starting in just a little more than an hour away right here. And we'll see you next week on the Touchdown Crew. Take care.
Yes, sir.
See you want to look.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. We talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.